Everybody, it's Invicta. It is time for the judging of Isaac. Today on trial is Ocular Rift. Ocular Rift, you stand accused of being a general nuisance, causing damage to players, and also making the game more difficult. How do you plea? It doesn't talk. It's just an item in the game. But yes, indeed, today we're going to be judging Ocular Rift. Again, this one was highly requested in the mosh pit, and it's definitely an item that people know that I just flat out don't like. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe today will be the great comeback. So thank you all very much for the support over this past week so far, going on into the midweek here for Judging of Isaac. Here's your midweek meme of the day. I was trying to say meme midweek of the day, but it didn't quite work out there. This one coming in from Chili Peppers Invade on the Sinvicta subreddit. Title thread was Sinvicta Devil Deals. Why is it when devil appears, it's always you three? Yep. Let me get down, shovel, and too spooky. That and Ocular Rift, which is what we're going to be looking at today. So here we go. How this is going to work for those of you who've never seen an episode of The Judging of Isaac. First off, I'm playing obviously on the YouTube save, or on the Twitch save file, not the YouTube save file. Secondly, I'm going to give myself regular Isaac because he starts with a D6. And then I'm going to give myself Ocular Rift via the dev console, as you can see right here. I'm just going to type in G Ocular Rift. Cool. And we are off. So Ocular Rift, what does it do? Ocular Rift will basically, it's a random tier effect that procs, that little orange tier right there. Then when it lands or hits an enemy, it's going to cause a little tear in the fabric of reality. And it will basically suck everything up into that portal and deal damage to them. Now at first glance, you might think like, well, that's pretty dang good. You know, you've got a chance to take out all the AoE mobs that need to be nuked, and you don't have to worry about things getting near to you because they're gonna be sucked into the black hole, the portal, or whatever you want to call it. But there are some bad things about it, and a lot of bad things. Namely, is the base functionality of the item, which is the whole suckage issue, where it's going to pull in things from the entire room, or at least in a very wide spread of range. And not only can it obviously suck in all of the enemies in the room, but it also takes their projectiles. And and also, of course, any flying mob in the room you just get ready to get hit by them. That's all I gotta say. Another issue with Ocular Rift is that there's no telling when it's going to proc, obviously, because it's a random tier effect. And the reason why that complicates things is because if it hits something in front of you, let's say for example you're getting pursued by a Globin, right? And the Globin's like he's on you, like it's imminent that you're gonna get tuned up. It's going to, not only is it going to proc on that Globin that's right next to you, basically point blank, but it's also going to accelerate the rate that the other Globins are running after you. And Isaac does not have, Isaac does not have a good enough physics engine to where they don't just clip into each other and bounce all around, and then the game tries to correct itself and then spits them out, and then you get hit if you're way too close. And remember, all this is happening very, very, very quickly because they're right next to you. So on top of the projectiles they have to worry about, you also have to worry about stuff like that. Take Sharp Key here. Even at full price, Sharp Key is a great buy at 15 cents. That's so many keys, so much value. 25 cents per. Well, but it's 25 cents value. We're not going to get a full charge unless we find the super secret room, which I think is in that northeast room. So, Ocular Rift is very dangerous to have. Notice how that shot right there from Little Gemini did slow down there, which is good. I mean, again, it's got its pluses and minuses. But overall, having to deal with something that not only makes enemies more dangerous and more unpredictable, but also their shots. Like imagine if you had like a bomb fly or something that's flying towards you, and then it procs and it sucks in all the other bomb flies. That's Ocular Rift in a nutshell. We could, if there's combat inside the alt path door, we could get a full charge. There's not. There could have been, but there wasn't. Me super lazy here. I know. House Invicta, don't you complain about having no more bombs on the next floor. Oh my God, we got ourselves a Joker. Joker card on floor 1. Oh man. Really want to take Abyss, but this is not a regular Eden run. We're playing as Isaac. This is Judging of Isaac. This is a great devil deal though. Man, imagine if we could just take Abyss. This is the Judging of Isaac. I gotta stay firm. Let's be strong here. Yeah, so we're gonna take the Soul Heart. Unfortunately, we don't have a reroll for anything else, and that's okay. It's a great start here, and you know, Ocular Rift is getting some weapons behind it. So we go on to last week's question of the episode, coming in from the Judging of Isaac. That one was the Ludovico technique, obviously. And despite my best efforts to try to figure out if Stopwatch had or had not actually made the tier slower, it's inconclusive. Obviously, people are saying like, well, it makes you faster, so that's the reason why it looks like you're actually traveling faster than the tier, which is that's true. It could have been just an optical illusion. Who knows? But and obviously that was, people were questioning who was that on the thumbnail. That was my friend Bikini Body. He, for whatever reason, still really loves Ludovico. I tried to change his mind with the last week's Judging of Isaac, but he still insists. So, you know, more power to you, Mr. Keeney. But yeah, this one coming in from Waluigi Time 5960. Oh, you jerk. Not you, Waluigi Time. I'm talking about Krampus with the Spinneroonie. This one coming in from Waluigi Time 5960. He said, question of the episode. You mentioned a few episodes ago that you would take pills if they added a damage up or down pill because it would be more worthwhile to take them. I was wondering why you don't consider tears up and tears down pill akin to a damage pill. Is it because there being an innate cap on tears without certain items? Yes. Okay, there you go. That's. I mean, you answered your own question in the question episode. Now that I've read it, yeah. The thing is that with damage, it's not capped, right? So I mean, technically, there's a cap if you want to talk about it, but it's in the millions of damage. Or it's actually it's past millions. But yes, that is the main reason why tears up alone are not enough to convince me that. Ooh, we could take Diplopia here. And we've already been to the devil deal, so let's get Diplopia. I'm nuking my second save file. Withdrawal machine here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use Diplopia inside the item room and then reroll if we need to. Or we could risk it. I'm not going to give it the D6 for Diplopia. We've had too much of that go on lately. The Ocular Rift doing a good job there, taking down the Riff Raff. And again, credit where credit's due. Ocular Rift is very adept at. Don't need to pick that up because we're gonna double this. It's very good at, on its own in a very large room. It's very good at taking out small enemies. And even larger enemies. Like, it's good crowd control. You just have to make sure and you have to hope that it doesn't hit you, like, point blank. That's the big crux of it all, is being more of a nuisance than a help. So, like, in this room here, with all the dips and everything, it's not that bad. Now, what I would say is that Ocular Rift, in a way, might be better if it was able to break... In a very short range. I mean, if it was able to break rocks and stuff, I think that would be nice. Oh, you know what? You know what's better than doubling the? You know what's better than doubling the item room items? Doubling the boss item, Diplopia. Yeah. So, oh, man, but if we get back into the devil deal, which we're guaranteed to do. We can't have the D6 and Diplopia at the same time. I'll stick to Diplopying the whatever the boss item is going to be first. So this is problematic because Limehorn throws out the bombs, and Ocular Rift will suck the bombs in. So we have to hope that you basically have to, your best friend in these situations when you have Ocular Rift is going to be your range stat. Well, thank God we have a reroll for that. We could re-roll the Devil Deal. It's a little Abba Dabba Ding Dong. I would rather re-roll the range upgrade, so I'm just not even going to go in there. And before you say it, if you're wondering, well, wait a second, where'd your Devil Deal, Angel Deal go? Remember, we went to a Devil Deal on floor 1, thanks to that Joker card. But what a Devil Deal it was. We just weren't able to take Abyss. I wish. Unfortunately, everyone knows that Abyss is just a god tier item, so there's no, you're not going to see a Judging of Isaac on Abyss anytime soon. I'd tell you that. I was thinking though to branch out, like do a spin-off of Judging of Isaac, would be something similar to Judging, except like I don't know I don't know what I would call the series. It would be basically to celebrate good items. Like give me Abyss and we're just gonna have fun. I haven't thought that far ahead to think of a series name yet, though. All right, D-Sizzle. Gonna grab this. Where are you? Hierophant. Nice. Well, I guess we could just use it now. Grab the Empress card. Empress card is going to give us a damage buff and movement speed buff for the room, so we can use it for a boss room in case we get in trouble. I wish that I had used Diplopia before. Or I wish I would have seen that card before I used Diplopia, though. That would have been an extra 2 soul hearts. All right, D-Sizzle. Do your work. Yeah, there's a lot of HP. Was there a sack room? No. Okay. Lots of HP. We're good now. We Gucci. Okay. So from here, what do we do? With Ocular Rift, you know, Ocular Rift is going to have more of an impact the higher that our tears rate goes. And going back to the question of the episode, because I don't want Waluigi time to think I'm being dismissive. Although it was funny that you did answer your own question. Another reason why I don't consider Tears Down to be that's so good. Tears Down to be the by itself, Tears Ups and Tears Downs are not enough to convince me that pills are worth the risk of losing stats, right? Even at a very small level, just one pill can be very bad for you. But if there was a Tears Up and Tears Down pill, which obviously exists, combined with a Damage Up and Damage Down pill, that would absolutely be worth it, because both of those work together. They work hand in hand to make your DPS ultimately increase by factors of more than what they give, right? We got the D6. We can do some sack room shuffle here. We got plenty of HP. Just got to be careful of our HP loss from Ocular Rift, which to be fair has not proven to be all that bad so far. We need to not go into the Devil Deal until after we get a full charge though, because if we do get teleported, I want to be ready. See Spider Babby doing work here. Redemption. I don't actually really want redemption. I'm willing to let it ride here, but we're going to have to fight both Uriel and Gabriel, which is going to be kind of a tall order with this damage. Like, we can do it, but it's not safe. So let's see what we get here. Get the soul hearts. Okay, so it's going to be safe now. I am going to sacrifice 1 soul heart here. All this in the name of trying to make Ocular Rift better. So you saw right there with the way that it can jostle enemies. If Gabriel had been able to move and he did his brimstone attack or the revelation attack, that would cause him to move around while firing that inescapable beam, as you see right there. So you know that's something to consider when you're talking about being fair with Ocular Rift. It does make things go crazy. All right, here we go. So we get Parasite. Parasite would split off into 2 Ocular Rift shots, so I'm gonna try to get Ocular Rift into the best position that it can be without just directly giving it like Brimstone or something like that. It's been a neat experiment here with this sub-series of the Judging of Isaac. The concept that I first had, of course, was the in a perfect scenario, which I then later renamed to the Judging of Isaac, obviously, where I would give the benefit of the doubt to the item, and we still kind of did that with the what do we have there? Broken Modem, where I gave myself Holy Mantle, which people were up in arms about. But remember, I'm trying to give the item all benefits of the doubt. In the best case scenario, can this item that I really truly hate, if we eliminate the biggest problem with this item, just flat out, just say, okay, you're not able to deal damage to us at all, at least not without trying, really trying. Can you still be a good item? And the answer for Broken Modem was still no, for me anyway. I think that that's a fair assessment to do when you're like, you give an item the best chance it can get to prove itself if it's going to be good or bad. And here with Ocular Rift, we don't really have to give anything for it here. Like, yeah, we could give ourselves Brimstone and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go fight the boss first. Oh, there we go, baby. Whoa, Grub, chill out, bro. With Ocular Rift, it's just give me Ocular Rift and then let's see what happens, right? Without buffing it by any means. We'll take a damage upgrade here and some HP. Need a tears rate really bad. We still have not found the shop. But if I were to give Ocular Rift even more benefit of the doubt and give it all the weapons it needs to succeed, Brimstone would be it. Definitely would love to get... I would love to get... more options is really good. Was that worth 2 soul hearts? Probably not. But it still gives us 2 boss items to reroll with every single time we fight a boss up until Womb 1. And then we still have a reroll for the double item pistol that we gave ourselves here in the Sack Room Shuffle. And C Dizzle and Gimpy, honestly, that's fine. That's not a bad trade there. I do not remember what was in our item room. It was something that was so unnoteworthy that I just don't even remember. Also, it's only 15 minutes here. Oh, Sister Maggie. All right, Sister Maggie, come on down. Gotta remind myself, this is not need and run. We're here to give Ocular Rift all it can need to succeed here, and that includes getting conjoined, so we're firing as many tiers as possible. But with Ocular Rift, it's also a little counterproductive. I'll talk about that in a second. Like with Parasite, and eventually if we do end up getting conjoined, the more shots that you fire, the higher the chances that you're going to proc Ocular Rift, which in theory you're like, oh, well, you know, at least that's good. Well, not really, because the physics engine decides to fight itself, and it never really figures out which direction enemies want to go, or projectiles. And in some rare cases, oh my gosh, in some rare cases, it can also make it to where their shots just stand still. Oh, another dime. Lots of money there. More hearts are over here. Swallow Penny, this is going to be a nice play. And then there's also the crashing issue. Ocular Rift has been known to crash a lot. Especially when you're talking about Brimstone. It can proc itself multiple times per second. It's bad whenever it does. You'll see a line of Ocular Rifts on the exterior walls of a room, and just be prepared for the game to crash. Spider Babby, I gotta say, Spider Babby's been doing work. Check out the item room real quick. It's gonna be Little Chub. Well, we might as well check out the vault here. Maybe we get lucky, get a nickel. No. We have a great spider army, though. So you might be looking at this run and asking yourself, well, so far Ocular Rift has not been there's been no downside. There's no downside to Ocular Rift right now. And that's true. That is true. You see there the little tiny portal. See, look how much faster Larry got sucked into that portal versus just one without the parasite. But yeah, I mean, it's so far it's not proven to be all that detrimental to the run. It's only basically helped us, and that's good. I wish that it was like that 24/7. However, one thing you got to keep in mind is that we don't have a high tears rate right now. We don't have anything that really, see how those tears kind of just stayed in the air there. We don't have really anything that the Ocular Rift is going to be able to kind of splinter from, other than proccing during a parasite shot. So we haven't. There's a big blue chub right there. So far, it's not misbehaved yet. 73% double deal. We need a tears rate upgrade. But that's why this is the judging of Isaac. It's fair. I give the item the benefit of the doubt. Scapular. I mean, Scapular would allow us to play infinite Sacrum shuffles. I might as well. I don't want to waste too much time because our red stew buff is ticking down. So we do get a nice tears upgrade there from eye drops. Wow, we got taken to the other side of the world, C Dizzle. C Dizzle and the gang came along for the ride here. Big room is there. Not entirely sure which way is the right way. Okay, apparently not. Apparently there's no wall over there. I'm going to venture a guess that's probably going to be to the east. C-Dizzle dropping all the kisses for us. Thank you, C-Dizzle. Of course, we had to wait until floor 5 for our next devil deal. There's our shop. And, I mean, options. I do love me some options. Used to hate the item. Now I actually legitimately don't mind it at all. Curved Horn, which is going to be a nice damage upgrade. See, it would be nice if Ocular Rift, if you shot a rock point blank, and I mean like essentially point blank. Whoa there. Okay. Point blank though, you'd be able to break rocks in the immediate area of the rift. Fear of the Night's too good for me to reroll. We need flying. I gotta reroll both of these, and yeah, much better. So options is already paid off with another tiers upgrade. But you're starting to see the potential problems of and issues arising here with a proc rate and how fast it Ocular Rift causes enemies to travel towards you. In the early stages, obviously, it's unless you start with 1 HP, it's not, or you're playing as the Lost, it's not that problematic. But later on, when the damage starts getting higher and higher and higher, the penalty of taking damage, that is, that's when things become a nuisance and even downright dangerous. So we have not gotten to that stage yet. Our shot speed is also, of course, down in the dumps right now because of blue cap. Blue cap, no cap. Give me this. If I can gut the item, we'll take it. Those Cloven's got... Apparently we procced a rift all the way up there, yeah. Sucked into the void. Eternal Heart in there, and little chest. Not a fan of little chest. Sometimes little chests can be good. Sometimes it can be just kind of a nothing item. Dreamcatcher. Also, Tear Detonator with Parasites actually kind of pog. Take Tear Detonator. We can split the Ocular Rift tiers. The problem, though, with Tear Detonator is that it takes way too long to recharge, so we're not gonna have a reroll here. We get a full card. Honestly, with the way that we started on Caves 1 at 15 or 16 minutes, for us to be here and only 7 minutes later is pretty impressive. Oh, there, Mom. Oh, there, bud. I'm going to take the negative, and we get Brimstone, baby. Okay. I'm glad that we took the negative now, because now it's going to be a real test. And what I mean by that is now we have the capability of Ocular Rift proccing multiple times per shot. And this would be a realistic, an even more realistic scenario now, because obviously I would have taken Brimstone on any given run. You especially have to be careful with enemies that shoot projectiles or do the beams. So we're talking now. We don't have any bombs. Okay, gotta be careful there. Now again, these little grievances that flare up whenever we see instances like that for Ocular Rift, that's not a deal breaker on its own for me to dislike the item. However, you combine that with just being a very clear and present risk in every room that you have, as long as you're firing shots, then it becomes a sort of like a cumulative risk that over time it gets to the point where it's like, well, why even take the risk when we can just avoid it altogether? And that's really one of those, that's pretty much the truest definition of a lot of the items you're going to see here in the Judging of Isaac. Is just an item that you either have to play around, so why even try to play around it if you can simply just not do that by, just not taking the item in question, or having little tiny problems that build up over time that you just have to kind of work around, and it puts you in a bad spot. It can put you in a bad position. It can even be downright dangerous. Again, Ocular Rift has only had a few little minor infractions so far, but nothing I would say so far that would cause it to be judged. Harshly. Man, Lusty Blood's so good here. Take Lusty Blood, gonna re-roll that, and yep. And we don't need range and luck, just give me HP. HP's fine. The vault over there, I don't really care what's in there. Full card. Yeah, we'll take the full card. I'm gonna take the counterfeit penny, as that is a big old waste of the devil, of the curved horn. You're seeing our damage go up and up and up. That's from Lusty Blood. Every time we kill an enemy in a room, it will give us a stacking damage buff that will last for the room until we leave the room, and then it's no longer going to be active in the next room. Glad this little red heart's here, so if we do take damage on our bone heart, we can just fill it without losing the HP. And we didn't get guppy, but we still have a chance, though, in the dark chest. I'm starting to formulate a final judgment here on Ocular Rift as we get closer to Lamb and the end of the run. I'm not going to do victory laps on Judging of Isaac episodes because I don't think that's it's not the point of the series in my mind. I want to make sure that we have a regular run-of-the-mill run that the average player would have, right? Someone that you're going to have and be like, you know, we just need to get a win, or we just need to get an objective or an unlock or something like that. So victory laps are not going to be happening here. We pass judgment on a regular full lap or regular full run. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm making a fair decision about Ocular Rift. We're getting there. So far in this run, Ocular Rift has not been a problem. I would say that it's helped more than hindered, which is good. That's where you want an item to be. Is the item worth the risk of taking? The general downsides, do they get outweighed by the general upsides to it? Hero might be here. It's sulfur, which would give us Leviathan, and we might as well take it. We're gonna reroll sulfur for Guppy, and didn't get it. Game Conception. Come on down. There's coupon right there, but we're not going to take the coupon. And we've gone the wrong way. But of course, as a quick reminder, if you have your own nominee for the next Judging of Isaac, post them in the comments down below. Of course, we also potentially could be doing like a re-judging of Isaac in the very distant future, not anytime soon. I'm not going to rehash items. I mean, we only had like what, 4 or 5 episodes of Judging of Isaac, but it would be fun. It would be fun to do something like that. A revisiting, a retelling, double jeopardy is what we'll call it. First tower cards, not really gonna matter. Oh, okay. It actually just didn't exist. Left the room too early. You know, get an Ocular Rift down. Ooh. Okay, Stanley. Yeah, Now these bomb flies. Okay, not the cleanest fight at all. Dreamcatcher giving us a half heart here, half soul heart. Athame, which I'm going to take Athame. Rotten Baby doesn't give us conjoined yet. Yep. Death's Touch is not bad, but it gives us a tears down and a significant one at that. And we've already got plenty of good stuff here. We don't need piercing shots, so I'd rather not sacrifice my tears rate if at all possible. I also can't believe that we're only sitting at 1.20 movement speed. Yes, we did pass up Speedball for a tears upgrade, but speed upgrades are kind of few and far between here in this run. There we go, Athame. Nice of you to show up after the room was cleared. Ocular Rift. Ares, yeah, that's a movement speed upgrade. Never mind. Just kidding. So, to anyone out there who's like, Guppy's eye never lies to you. Uh-huh. E-Bizzle. Of course, we have the tag team combo of C-Dizzle and B-Dizzle. This room is just all madness right here. We instantly got a Spider 4. Thank you, C-Dizzle. Or D-Bizzle, I should say. Serious Liquid is going to be very nice for Brimstone Parasite. Oh, no. Okay. Little Guri Jr. was about to just fly at us. I mean, she was, like, launching. She was powering up. Beelzebub's only, or Blue Baby's only friend. It's kind of fine. It's kind of fine in a, like, if we needed to get the Beelzebub transformation at this point, it'd be nice to have it, but it's certainly not needed. But obviously, we have no less than 2 flying items so far: transformation and, of course, Spirit of the Night. Bursting Sack. I'm not going to roll. As we can take the shovel here. This is going to give us 2 item pedestals to reroll. If we got another full charge, we could roll a 3rd one, but the D100 and Bob's Brain does not constitute a good roll, in my opinion. Don't let D-Bizzle take that one up. Big kill by Athame there. D-Bizzle hooking us up. Thank you, D-Bizzle. And we get Polyphemus and also C-section. So, wow. Sure, why not? So, let's unpack the final judgment here for Ocular Rift. Ocular Rift, you're accused, stand accused of being an annoyance and a danger and all-around nuisance to a run. By pulling enemies in, stopping their projectiles from traveling at a normal trajectory, and making things very unpredictable and annoying. Yeah, why not? We have a little bit of work to do on this final judgment. In this run, in this very, very isolated run, under these conditions, Ocular Rift performed admirably. There was only a few minor infractions that I could see where Ocular Rift caused me to have to adjust my dodging. Otherwise, lest we be hit. Bizzle, you over here? I think that ultimately, Ocular Rift is an item that if you want to take it, go for it. I think that it does have some very good properties with its crowd control, being able to stack on itself, basically immobilizing enemies to an insane degree. Is it worth the trouble of having to go through that, though? Is it worth the danger? It all comes down to how well can you play around it. Is it a blacklisted item for me? I would say that under most conditions, I wouldn't call it blacklisted. It's just kind of like I don't really feel like playing with this item today. But there's potential there. There's potential for it to be great. You can always have a lot of damage. You can always have it kind of just be its own AoE monster. And that's when it works out great like it did right there, it's beautiful. It is a fantastic item. When it doesn't, it becomes a dangerous nuisance at worst, I would say. So ultimately, I think that Ocular Rift is not a bad item. It is an item that is it's sort of like it's almost like an acquired taste of an item. If you like it, play with it. If you don't like it, stay away from it. If you want to give it a shot, try your own very fair judgment. Go for it and let me know your results, because I'd love to hear if any of these episodes have changed your mind about certain items so far. We've already seen a lot of reversals. The final question for this episode here, as we kind of try to find Delirium. The final question I'll ask myself rhetorically: does this performance that we saw from Ocular Rift in this episode, does it change my opinion of the item? Ultimately, honestly, no. And that's not because we've discovered something new about it that was awful. That's not because we found a whole myriad of issues that we previously did not know about. It's just the simple fact that Ocular Rift is a very quintessential take it if you feel like playing around it item. But be careful, because it can be in most cases 90% very effective at taking down enemies, immobilizing them, etc., etc. But it's just the small chance, I would say a 10% chance. Every now and then you got to be careful with it, as it will make things unpredictable and kind of dangerous for you. In a low life situation, I would not recommend taking Ocular Rift. I don't think that is not worth the risk at all in low life situations. If you've already got a powerful run, it's just going to make your run even more powerful. But you also have to be conscious, unless you're on, I guess if you're on, you might be on console, but just be conscious of the crashing issues. At least on PC, because that's the only version that I really play. I'm glad that, oh, I didn't even see that there was a mob there. Glad that we were able to do a full clear void while I was just trying to, wrap up this episode game. The final judgment, it's not a bad item. It's an item that you have to play around. If you feel like playing around it, then go for it. I don't recommend taking the item on low life. And this episode did not change my opinion ultimately on that. Oh my god, what is happening over there? And if you really want something nutty, then try having Ocular Rift, Brimstone, and fight Delirium. Get ready for ultimate uncertainty and instability of the tier. Yeah, I have no idea what just hit me there. Probably an invisible mom foot. So either way, thank you for watching, everyone. Very interesting Judging of Isaac episode. If you enjoy the sub-series, and of course you enjoy my content, make sure you click the like button, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts on Ocular Rift and any other items that need to be judged. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Barman1988, Katoryu, and RageGod91. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.